Hello, this is MA Tech Tips. In this video, I will show you how to use an online editor of LaTeX, which is an Overleaf, and I will give you a brief introduction on this LaTeX. Uh, in this video, we will see how to write texts in LaTeX, how to change the text colors, how to insert mathematical equations with different kind of complex equations, limits, integrals, summations, or just how to highlight part of the equations, how to give some annotations to explain part of the equation is how to use some arrows to give some mathematical steps, how to insert figures, how to give captions for the figures, how to label figures just for cross-referencing, how to insert tables, how to give captions for the tables, how to add or columns for texts in different columns, and just how to insert different figures with different columns, how to change the size of figures, just the position of figures, and also finally I will also see how to include codes, some MATLAB codes for some Python codes, and just to write with the same script in LaTeX. Now let's jump to the video. To begin working with Overleaf, we can write an Overleaf to open the editor, overleaf.com on Google search. Then this you will get this page. So if it is just your first time, you can register to have an account, or if you have an account, you can just log in. Since I have an account, I will just simply log in. When you log in, you will see the lists of the documents that you have created before, or on the left hand side you will see some type of documents that you can create. Here it says just the new document. I will click on new document. Here you have different kind of options. You can have some kind of book templates, some kind of academic journals, letters, or any just poster presentation. You can have some kind of homework assignment templates. Even if you have some kind of LaTeX documents, you can even upload those documents, or you can just start by using some example projects. But for this tutorial, I will start from the just a complete blank project. So I click on the blank project, then give the name. This is some example, the tutorial, LaTeX tutorial. Then I will say create. Then it creates the completely empty LaTeX document. So you have the title as a document, and you can give the name of the author. I will say this one, MA Tech Tips, from MA Tech Tips. Then it has some date. Then you have some environment. Okay. Now, then when you create the new document, you will see three different regions. The one from the left hand side, you will see your current available document. I have some main text file, and in between you have some kind of codes that you can write. Your code is just you can write some syntaxes to be written in the document. And on the right side, you will see the PDF version of the document. So here on the beginning, it has some kind of the document class. It could be an article or a report, or it could be just kind of book. I will use this article document class, the default one. Then in the begin document here, as you see here, the begin document with an end document. This is the document class. Everything that you want to print as a PDF should be written inside this folder, inside the begin document and the end document. So this make title is just / make title is used to make this one as a title, the author name, the author, the date, and the title to make it display here as you see. So the first thing that I will show you is just this is an introduction. I will say just some kind of normal text. I will show you. I will start from text. So here, if I write some text, that it will be immediately displayed as a PDF. Then when I click recompile here, I will click the recompile, then you will see the text here. It will be printed out. It is just the PDF version. Then the next thing is on the recompile here, we have some kind of down arrow. You can click here and you can the compilation auto compile on. Then when I update the text by itself, it just recompile it again, and you will see the changes on the PDF version. Though I can write any kind of text here. I can modify, I can update the text and do whatever I want. So in order not to write many texts, I will use some kind of package. The package is some kind of just the template or some formalities or packages that help me to write my document easily, which backslash use package. Then when I start the typing, I will see different options here. So I can choose the one that I need. This is just use package. Then inside the curly bracket, I will write lip sum. Now I have this packet, and inside in the text, I can use backslash, then lipsum packet that I listed above, lipsum. Then use some square bracket as it is just generated here. I use a square bracket and maybe 1 to 5. Just it will generate some kind of 5 to 4 paragraphs. Now I have some kind of text. The first thing I will show you is here is just for the document class. The first thing is just when I see the PDF version, it has I mean, just the margins on the left and on the right. So the first thing I will adjust the margin for this text. So to adjust the margin, I will use another package, backslash, use package. I will click insert, then geometry. I will say the geometry. Then with geometry, I will use backslash geometry. I have now package backslash geometry, and inside the curly bracket, I will type let's say inside this curly bracket, the left will be, I can say left side, the same with 20 millimeter, comma. Then it will adjust the left margin. Then I will adjust the right margin also. Now, as you see here, now the left margin is small and the right margin is just large. I can do the same thing for the top, the bottom, and okay. Now I adjust the margin. Then after just doing this one, let me show you how to insert equations. Maybe I would say another section. For the next section, I will say equations. So when I say section, just it divides my documents into different parts. This is the first section. I'm talking about some kind of texts. Then now this one is just about some equations. I will show you how to insert equations. So in order to insert equation, what we can do is just we can use the dollar sign. This is my first equation. This is my first equation. And if I want to insert the equation now, I use some equation environment. This equation environment is just, I can use some dollar sign. And inside the dollar sign, whatever I write inside the dollar sign is interpreted with this Overleaf editor as an equation. So in this place, I can write the equation. Let's say x squared, x the power of 2 now plus y squared. It should be y power of 2. I can use the power, which is equals to. Now, as you see here, I have now x squared plus y squared, which is equals to 1, is displayed as an equation. I can write such kind of equations. This is just, as you see here, the equation is just next to the text. It is in line with the text. If I want to separate the equation and just to write equations on a separate line, not in line with the equations, we can do the same thing, but I can use the double dollar sign. If I use this double dollar sign and write the equation, I will write the same equation, x squared plus y squared, which is equals to 1. Now, in this case, the equation is just written in a separate line. This is not in line with the previous one, but it is now written in a separate line. The next thing is, if we want, let's say, if I want to give some equation numbers, if I have some just a big document, I will give some equation numbers to refer some of the equations. So to have some equation numbers, we can have another equation environment. By using the backslash, I can write begin. It just show me a curly bracket here. Inside the begin environment, I will write equation. So when I see equation here, I can click equation, I can write. Now, when I give the begin equation environment, it immediately gives by itself the end equation. So I will write the equation here. So I will copy the equation I write on top, x squared plus y squared, and I will put here in between this begin equation and end equation environment. Now, this x squared plus y squared plus 1 is just the same equation, but now on the right side, as you see, I have equation number 1, which means just it numerates, or just it gives some equation numbers for my equation in this case. If I want to write different parts inside this equation, I can use subsection. The first one was section. Now I can say subsection. And inside the subsection, I have the equations as section. Then the subsection should be inside the equation, which is for the equation, as you see, the number is just, it gives by default 2. So the subsection should be 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. So in this subsection, I will say, let's say maybe limit. If I want to write the limit equation, first I should have some package here. I will add package, the math package. So backslash use package. Now I will use this package and AMS math. This is the math equation, the math package. So I will add this math package. Then inside the limit, yeah, so inside the equation parameter, inside the equation, I will write backslash limit and underscore for the limit. The limit runs from, let's say, n, then backslash 2, n goes to just infinite. Infinite is backslash infinity. We can write infinite in this way. Now this is writes the limit as n goes to infinite. Now it writes the limit as n goes to infinite. So I will write some equation inside the bracket. I will say 1 plus some famous mathematical equation, 1 plus 1 over n. Just to write 1 over n, that is a fraction, we can write by using backslash fraction with frac. Then when I write fraction, it gives this one with two consecutive curly brackets. I will click here, sorry. I will use these curly brackets for numerator and another for the denominator. So for the numerator, I will say 1, and for the denominator, I will say n. It means just 1 plus 1 over n, power of n. Now I will write some power of n, which is equals to just some value. Say that was e. So I can write the limit of 1 plus 1 over n, the power of n, which is equals to e. You can write some kind of the limit mathematics in this way by using backslash limit. But as we see here, now the bracket doesn't cover both 1 over n. So to make it more look good, before putting this bracket, before the bracket, I can use backslash left, which means just consider this one as left, and before the bracket, the closing bracket in the right, I can use backslash right. Now, so now I have 1 over n, and the bracket is now, it looks good. So this is how to write the limit function. So the next thing, I will use maybe another subsection to make it more clear. With this subsection, maybe some continuous fractions, okay. I didn't write this one, okay. Now in this subsection, now this is on the second page on this 2.2 for this kind of fraction. Now here I want, let's say, if I want to write 1 plus some fraction as fraction, now I use backslash and fraction. I can use tab, then 1 over something, just 1 plus 1 over. Now, as you see here, we have 1 plus 1 over. So in this denominator again, we can write, let's say, 1 plus another fraction inside the denominator. So in this fraction, I can say 1 plus 1 over. Now you see 1 plus 1 over, then inside the denominator, I have 1 plus, again 1 over something. So in this denominator place, I can write 1 plus again with the backslash fraction, and inside the fraction, I can say 1 over. So in this denominator again, I can say just 1 plus backslash fraction. So in fraction, I can use tab and just 1 over something. So as you see here, we can extend this continuous subsection into maybe summation or summation. So in order to write some kind of summation, I can use the equation, the begin equation environment. So inside the equation environment, I can backslash, then sum, the summation bounds, the lower and the upper bound for summation. So I can write underscore and put the lower bound. For the lower bound, let's say from 0. So for the upper bound, I use the exponential sign. I put this exponential sign, power of sign. Then for the exponent, I will use some infinite. Empty is just for infinite. So the summation is now runs from 0 to infinite. Now it runs from 0 to infinite. Then here on the equation, I can write the mathematical equation. Let's say backslash, then left for the bracket. Then for the left bracket, I will open left bracket. Sorry. Then inside the left bracket, I can say 1 plus 1 over x factorial. Then backslash right. Then on the right, I will close the, yeah. Now I have summation of 1 plus 1 over x factorial from x from 0 to infinite. So we can write such summation in. So the next one may be the integral backslash int. This is for the integral x dx. If I have the limit of integration, I can put this with underscore, the lower limit, which is from 0 to for the upper bound, let's say pi. If I want to say pi, that's the symbol, I can use backslash then pi. That gives from 0 to pi. The summation from 0 to pi x dx. Now the integral is from 0 to pi x dx. This is for a single integral. If I want to have a double integral or triple integral, for double integral, simply we can use, let's copy this one. For, can use it double, for the double integral here, I use backslash int. So if I double the I value, it gives double I. Now this one gives the double integral. Now this is the double integral. This is single integral. Now I have a double integral. If I want to have some triple integral, I can copy this one. And for triple integral, I can say this I integral 3 times. If it is 3 times, now I have the triple integral. So to have the bounds in all of the 3 integrals, the first thing, this is just for indefinite integrals. I can say 3 triple i's. Or just if I want to specify the bounds for the first integral, second integral, third integral, I can use the second one. This one is just x times xy dx dy to make it a double integral. This is just x dx dy dz for the triple integrals. Okay. The next thing is for to have, let's say if I want to have the triple integral, and begin the equation again. So in this integral, I can write backslash int. Then I can write the limit, let's say from 0 to some value, let's say from 0 to 2. From 0 to 2, this is for the first integral, from 0 to 2. Then for next integral, I can write backslash again, integral. Then for this one, the lower limit is, let's say, maybe the same thing, maybe minus pi, minus backslash pi to the upper bound backslash pi, from minus pi to pi. Then for the third integral, I can use backslash in the same way int the integral underscore, let's say from 0 to some value to pi. Okay, exponent then to 2 pi. For the exponent, I can use this curly bracket. Inside the curly bracket, I can say 2 pi. Okay, now I have from 0 to 2, from minus pi to pi, from 0 to 2 pi, these triple integrals. Then I can write the equation. If I want to use some Greek letters, I can also write with these Greek letters. The first thing, let me show you with some Greek letters. The first thing is just D for the angles, let's say d phi, backslash with phi. If I say just phi, I can use this one, d phi. Then d theta, I can write d theta. Then d rho, I can say d rho. Yeah, d theta, d phi, d rho for these integrals. So if I have some function, maybe I can write the function, maybe rho square. Let's say rho square, rho then square. I will integrate this rho square, d theta, d phi, and d rho. So if I want to give some space between these differential integral parameters, I can give the space by, let's say here, I can use backslash, then one space. Here also, I can use backslash, then one space. then be here also backslash then space. If I want some space, I can use backslash to give some space in between. So as you see here now, rho square, d theta, d phi, and d rho have their own space. So we can write such kind of different kind of mathematical equations in LaTeX with simple commands. If I want to insert graphs, I will move to figures, maybe another section. For this section, maybe figures. Okay, some figure environment. For this figure environment, we need this graphic X use package. So to have the figures, the first thing is we should upload the images first. So I will use this one to upload the documents. Then I just upload my images or figures from my document. So let's upload them. Okay, let me select these three different images and upload all of them once. Now I have the figures here. So what I can do here is just inside this figure section. So I can use backslash, just begin. When you start begin, it gives this curly brackets. Inside this one, I will say figures, figure. Now I have the figure environment. So when I click the figure environment, it gives by default just the centering to center the figure. Now include graphics in this, and with this curly bracket, I will select which image that I need. Then I have the caption, then the label, and this is end figure. When I click on the include graphics inside the curly bracket, it gives me three of my images. I upload three of them. If you have more, you will see just more. So select the one that you need. Maybe I will select the logo first. Then here on the caption, which is just the labeling or the explanation for the figure. Now I have the figure here, but okay, I will show you the next. I have the figure, and it's just by default, it is labeled with figure 1. And figure 1, then it says caption, because on the caption, it is just said caption inside the bracket. So maybe I will say logo of MA Tech Tips. So that will be displayed as the caption for your image. I have this image. The second thing, I can specify the size of the image. So here, include graphics. Next to the include graphics, I can use some square brackets, this square bracket, and I can use some matrices. Let's say widths, maybe the widths of this figure should be the same with text widths or whatever I can say. Maybe I want to make it half text width 0.5, half of text width 0.5, then backslash text width, backslash text width. Now the size of the figure is half of the text width. Just I have the text width is just from this point to this one is the text width. Now it is just half of the text width. The next thing is this one, the label. This one is to just call or just for cross-referencing of this figure inside the document. So maybe here, figure 1, if I want to say figure 1, it shows or illustrates the something, just have some text. Now I have this figure 1 and I can write this one. I can explain, write the text in this way, this figure 1. But if I insert another figure before this figure 1, now the figure number will be updated, but this figure 1 is just manual, right? So it will not be updated. So I should use some labels to specifically select this figure always. So I will write this figure, and this is just logo. This is the logo figure. Then here, what I can say is just instead of typing the figure number by manual, I can use backslash, then ref for referencing, this for cross-referencing. Now I have only one label yet, so it will only just pop ups the figure logo label. Now, if I run this one, I will see here now, yeah, figure 1 illustrates this one. The next thing I want to show here is just if I want to put this figure next to this this figure, but now it is just randomly put inside my equations. So if I want to specify the position, so here in the begin text figure environment, I can add some position specifier with a square bracket, and I want here, I can say h, which means just here. I specify the place exactly on the place that I want. Now I have the figure, and if I want the figure should be put under the text that I write next to immediately on the same place. I can use just H, which means just here. You can use B to make the figure bottom, or T to make the figure top. Or just if you don't specify the position, then LaTeX find the best position and it put somewhere else, just somewhere inside the text. But we can specify the text size here as this one. Okay, this is how to insert a figure, how to just label, how to add some caption, this labeling, and also text width or the size of the text. Okay, now this is just center. If I click this centering, I comment this one. Now it's just not centered. Okay, the next thing is if I want to insert some kind of table. This is about the figure. If I want to insert a table, okay, backslash, then section, inside section, I will say table. So for the table environment, the first thing is I can use the tabular environment. So let's say backslash, then begin. Inside the begin, the curly brackets, I will say tabular. I want to make some tabular. So when I click the tabular, it just immediately closed tabular. It should be just closed. So it gives me the closed tabular here, and it gives some default syntaxes here. Now, this one says I have just C, then vertical part, then C, which means just I have some text which is centered. C is just for centered. Then I will put some vertical line. Then after the vertical line, I will put another text which is just centered. So it's say this one. Then here the end sign just separates different columns. If I say here A and after end I will say B. Now A and B are two different columns. See here. Now I have A and B in two different columns, and these two different columns are separated with this vertical part because I have a vertical here. Now here also this double backslash gives on the second row. This is the first row of this tabular. Then to move to the second row, I use this double backslash. Then click here and let's say this is C, then this is D. Now this is the second column, the second row, I mean. Now the second row is just filled A, B, C, D. So if I want the vertical bars both before and after, I can put this vertical bar here. I can put also this vertical bar here and also on the last. Now I will have these vertical bars on this and this place also. Yes. If I want to make it also just kind of formal table, I want a horizontal line. So I can use insert here and maybe here. Yeah. Now I use backslash, then H line, which means just some horizontal line. Now it will insert this horizontal line on the top. Then next to the first row, I will also do the same thing, backslash, horizontal line. It will insert the horizontal line. After the C and D also, I use backslash, then horizontal line, H line. It will give the next one, the other horizontal. So, okay, I should have the backslash here because that should be an enter just or just to finish the text. Okay, now I have this one. This is just for centering. So if I want to write some kind of big text, let's say instead of D, this is some sale, last sale, maybe last sale. If I say this one, last sale, now the text, just the second column is just extended. That's extended. All the texts are just center. If I don't want to put them center, I can, let's say, if I write, put this one R, which means that the text is just right side. So it should be aligned to the right, as you see here. Or I can write this one, align this one to the left. It will align the texts, all the texts to the left. This is the tabular. So now this table is not centered, it's just on the left side of the box. So if I want to put this one to center, before this begin tabular environment, I can start just center. I can begin then center. So for in center, now I can start this begin center, and after this tabular, I will end centering. So if I enclose all this tabular format inside the centering, now I will see my table is just centered. If I want to add some caption, some labels also in the image as the figure, so now I can add another environment, which is a table environment, backslash begin, then table. When I click table, now for this table, it just manually generates the tabular and the centering environment, but I don't want this one. Already I have the centering, I have the table one, I have the label. So begin table, then I will cut this, the end table to the last one. I have the centering. Now, after this text, I can add the begin table and end table. Now I have the begin table and the end table environment. So if I have the begin and the end table environment, because it is now a table, it just moves this table to somewhere else. It puts to the top. So as previously we did for this table environment, we say here, just put the table here. So we specify the position of the table. Now the table should be under the part 4 as the previous one. Then we can add the caption. The caption could be on top of the table or below the table, but as you want. Caption, we can write some caption. This is the first table. This is the first table. So I can add such kind of caption for this one. And also I can label this table, backslash, just label. For label, then for this one is just a table. I can say table. You can write whatever you want. First table, first table. So I can write the label for this one. So if I want to refer somewhere this table, I can use in the similar way. If I want to refer the table, if I was referring the figure here, okay, this is table. Maybe I can write here table below. Now I can say table 1 below shows just blah 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 blah. I have some kind of text, but I want to specify the table number, so I can use backslash, then reference. Then inside the reference, now I have two options. I have the figure which is labeled, I have the table which is labeled, but I need table 1 to refer here. So it says just table 1. It will give here the table number. Now table 1 below shows something. So we can refer the table inside. If you want to design this table to get this one at the end of this video, you can see the details about formatting a table. How can we increase the size cell? How can we highlight? How can we change the color? You can check the video. If we want to write some our text with a column, the first thing, if we want to write all the documents with two columns, 2 or 3 columns, we can use some default column text. So I can write on the text class here, I can use the square bracket, and inside square bracket, I can write 2 column, which means just all the document written here is in 2 column. Now it specifies my document in 2 different columns. Now, as you see here, all the documents starting from the previous one, it's just divided into columns, the first column and the second column, which is just most just research articles or publishers use. So if I write in these 2 columns, and if I want to make it just 1 column, but somewhere, maybe this one, let's say in these integrals, on the first page, I want to use these 2 column, and on the second page, maybe I can figure out this one for the integral. Here, I can say just backslash and 1 column. So when I say 1 column, the after this command, 1 column command, all the things written are in just in 1 column. The second thing is I can write a multi-column. To use the multi-columns, we add the package here, use package multi-columns. Okay, this multi-column package. I will add this multi-column package, and after you having this multi-column package, let's have the text here. So I can backslash, then begin multi-columns, then the number of columns I need 2 columns. Then as a title, we can write some kind of text which will be just distributed, not in a column. So I will add some text here. After having this common text, now I can put the lib sum, just to generate some kind of text. Now the ellipse maybe 1 to 3 or just 4. This is now the text. Then end multi-column backslash end multi-columns. Now in this syntax, as we see here, I have a multi-columns environment. In the multi-columns, the first thing is I need to define the number of columns I need. If I want 3 columns, if I make it this one 3, now the text is divided into 3 different columns. We will see here now. Now I have the first column, the second column, and the third column. It will be in 3 different columns. This is just some kind of title which is just distributed into all the columns, which is just written, everything written next to the number of columns here. Let me make it 2. Then in the square bracket, I will write a certain text which is just distributed on a kind of text, I mean title or some kind of description, which will be distributed on all the columns. Then I have 2 different columns. I have column 1, I have the second column, column 2. So I can use this kind of columns, 2 different columns. So we can use this multi-columns page for this one. Then this is just one of the subsections, maybe subsection. I can define this one as multi-columns, or we can use also the mini pages. We can use just subsection, maybe. Okay, I can define with the mini page. With this mini page, if I want, this is just for using multi-column, I will use the mini page environment. So for the mini page, what I do is I can start use backslash, then begin, then inside the begin curly bracket, I will write the mini page. So for this mini page, I can use tab. It closes immediately with the mini page. So here I can define the size of the mini page. So I can use some curly bracket again. In this curly bracket, let's say the width will be 0.6 times text width times the text width. Now I have 0.6 times of the text width, and I can generate some kind of text. Use the lib text. Now with lib sum 1 to 3 can generate some kind of 3 or 4 paragraph text. Now I have just a separate page. Now I have some mini page. I define my own page with the whole just 0.6% of the total page. Now I write this, the first column. Then to write on the second column, I can use another mini page. So on the second mini page, the size should be just some kind of 0.3. It should be, and here I should have some horizontal space. So I use backslash h space, the horizontal space between these 2 mini pages. It should be maybe 12. Now I will rerun this one, recompile. Now, as you see here, now I have 2 different pages. The first page has 0.6 times the text width. Then I define the horizontal spacing between these 2 mini pages. I define this h space, which is just a horizontal space between the 2 mini pages. Then I have the second mini page. So I can add maybe this one 0 to 0.4 or something that I want. I can enlarge this one because I have some space here on the right side. Now I have these 2 mini pages. So we can write the columns with 3 different ways. One, the first one is using just 2 columns as the preamble from the text. I can add the 2 column here. That is the first option. As we see here, first we can write in 2 different columns. The other one is we can use the multiple column package or the multi-col package. Then we can write the multiple columns like this one, as we see here, as section 5.1, or we can use the mini pages. Actually, in these mini pages, even we can use figures to put in this mini page environment. We can put figures rather than texts. I can now here, if I want to put some figure for this one, for the first one with this one, I can include graphics, and inside this one that is just side include maybe I will put some kind of flower. I can use this one. This is for the text. Then for the next one, I can use this kind of just figure. Okay, now because for the right one, I have the text itself, and for the figure, I didn't specify the size now because it uses just the whole size, but it should be the mini page. Now I will define the size on this mini page, so I can add the size. We can insert again the second one also another figure. Now I put these two different figures with a column. So we can write texts or we can put figures, we can put tables. The next thing I want to share here is just on figures. I forget something. Okay, let me show you it once. Okay, for this figure section, actually for the navigation, if you have some kind of big document, you can use these arrows. If I click on this mathematical equation on the PDF and click this arrow, it will move on the same position of the figure with this one. Mathematical equations, the same thing. Or if I am on the text editor on the code, I can use this arrow to go to the PDF, or this one is just to go to the editor or the code. So I will show you on the text, maybe after the logo. Okay, now I have this kind of integral. The thing that I want to show you here is just if we want to select some part of the text and make some kind of arrows or some annotations. On this one, if I want to add some annotations here, so the first thing is, if let's say from the integral, I can use backslash, then under press, then I put the equation that I need inside the curly bracket. After the curly bracket, I use some underscore and use some another curly bracket and put the text that I need. Now, as you see, I have the equation now. I select the part of equation that I need and put some under press, and I will add some text here. This is maybe I can say this is triple integral. I can write this one. Okay, now I write the text here. This is a triple integral, but this is not part of equation, so it should be a text. I use just backslash text, then inside the curly bracket I write this is a triple integral. Now as you see here, this is some triple integral, so we can annotate this one, some equations, or we can also just highlight some part of the equation. So let's highlight some part of the equation. I have this equation. So if I want to highlight this part of the text, this part of the text, just the first part of the text, I want to highlight this one. So first I will add the package t box color. Now I will use some new package by using use package. So from the use package, then I use t color box, t color box. So I add this package. Okay. After adding this theme color box, let's move to the part of equation that I need to highlight the portion. Now that was okay. This one. Okay, here. Now I want to highlight this, the fraction of dx with dt plus dy with dt. Let's highlight this part. So what I did is just I can use backslash, then color box, the color box. Then with this color box, I can add the color box here. It has two square brackets. With the first square bracket, I define the colors that I need, let's say yellow. Then on the second bracket, I will put the part of equation that I need to be highlighted. So this is the part of equation that I need to be highlighted. So I should put that part of equation, then I will add some dollar sign, then inside the dollar sign, the equation environment, I will put the equation that I need to be highlighted. Now I will compile the text and see what will happen. Now see here, I can highlight the part of equation which is dx with dt plus dy with dt part with some yellow text. You can change the color. You can change the part of the text that you want to highlight. So we can highlight part of the equation as you see here. We can just annotate some part of the equation. And the next thing is we can use some kind of arrow to show some kind of relationships. Let me show you that one here. So for that part, we need to add some new package, backslash use package. Within this use package, the package name is just with arrows. It's called with arrows. I can add this package with arrows. Then sorry, I will use with arrows package here. Okay, now this is the package that I need with some arrows. Then inside the equation I will have some kind of two different equations. Okay, let me write this equations here. This is one integral. After the integral, okay, I will put the new equation next to the previous one. Use backslash, then begin. Inside the begin with the with arrows, then with arrow. Okay, now I will stop with arrow. I begin with arrow, then I end with arrow. It just immediately closes. Then I will add some kind of equation. Maybe I will copy the previous equation, not to write it to. Okay. Now I have the first equation. Then I need to have another equation. Let's say maybe some different equation. I will take one of the equations. If I have another equation, let's say x squared plus y squared, which is just okay. So the second thing is the first thing we add the package with arrows. So if we want to show something with an arrow, the first thing is we build this equation environment by using this backslash, then the square bracket, and backslash with square bracket closed. Then inside the begin with arrows, we write the first equation, which is the first one, which is just dx with dt plus dy with dt. If I make it large, dy with dt, which is equals to 26. Then if we have just some kind of mathematics, this is just not with the Laplace, but this is just to show you as an example. So if we use, let's say, if we have some time domain equation and we have some frequency domain equation, that is just which have the Fourier transform relationship, then we can say using Fourier transform with this arrow, it will give this one. So it is just a great functionality which is useful in just to write some sequential mathematical relationships. If we do some, let's say if we have some integrals, then if we solve the integral and we have the result, then we can use this arrow, and with this arrow we can use just solve this one integral, or just with some Laplace, with some using Fourier transform, or using just we can write the relationship between the two equations with these arrow functions. So to write this arrow, we can use just begin the with arrow environment, then write the first equation. After this one, just backslash arrow, then in the curly bracket, use just type the sentence that you want to write. Then I just simply say use Laplace, then backslash, double slash, just user to return to new line, then put the next equation. I will write the second equation after this new line. So as you see here, we can write mathematical equations in this way. I want to write the color of the text with some different color. Now, or by default, the text color is black. So if I want to write this text color with, let's say, with blue or with red, first I should add some kind of package, backslash use package. Then in use package, I will write X color, which is just the color, the package user to change the color of the text. Then inside the equation, this is an example of, let's say, example of colors should be in red. So what I should do is just first I should use backslash, then color, then inside the color I use this double curly braces. Then for the color, let's say I can say red. Now the text is some red. Okay, now if I use backslash colors then red, the text after this command is all red, but I want to only make examples of colors in red but the rest as black. So I should put this all commands inside the curly bracket. Here I will open the curly bracket and also close here the curly bracket. Now this color effect, the color red, is applied only on the example of colors, not on the rest of the text. So I can add this kind of colors, so we can change the color. Maybe if on the red, if I need to make it blue, you can easily just say blue. Now, this part of the text is in blue, the other is in just black. So we can change the color of the text in by using X colors. If we have some kind of assignments, maybe that's necessary to show which kind of scripts or codes we use to do our assignments. So I will show you how to include this kind of equations, or MATLAB codes or Python codes in. So the first thing we should add the package. The package is called the minted. You will use backslash use package, the minted package. Then go to the place where I need to include the code. Here, after adding the package, I will start the minted environment. Then begin. then here I will write the min head. So I click tab, it just adds the end type. Now I also should include which kind of script it did. So I will add here Python. Now I add the Python code here. Now let's check how it looks like in the text here. The listing closing for this listing next to, at the end of the code. Now, if I have this kind of listing, I can add some caption. Now, I have the caption, then I write this kind of caption. This is so when I make this one as a listing, it puts shifts a bit on top and the title is on the bottom. So as we do it in the figures, we can specify the place here. I can put some here just to put below the text, the title of the include or the section. Now I have this one. We can add, it's just when we type or the script or when we write the codes in Python, they have some numbers on the left side to specify the line of codes. So we can add these numbers also. This is just for the line. I can put comma and I can add the the line numbers. This one, the light NOS adds the line numbers for the codes. So I have the code now. It adds the numbers 1, 2, 3 up to some kind of numbers. I can even change the background color for this one. So to add the background color, I should define the background color first. I should define a package, maybe define color. Let me define some color. Now, for defining the color, the first thing should be the kind of or the name that I need to use, let's say light gray. Let's say the light gray color. I need some light gray color. On here, the color itself, that is just gray color. I need some gray color. On the third curly bracket, what would be just the kind of the percentage? Yeah, percentage of grayness or something. Maybe I will say 0.9. So now I define the color, then it is just the name is a light gray. I will copy this name. Then on the code, I will move back to the code. And in this, I add the line numbers. Then even I can add the background color. For the background color, I will say the BG color, background color. The background color should be light gray. Already I defined what is the light gray color. It should have this one. Yeah. Now, as you see, I add some background for my expression for my code. You can change the color, you can change the style, you can do whatever you do. Just to summarize the points, we can include the codes, we can insert the figures, we can divide the text in columns, we can insert different kind of equations. Also, we can insert tables, figures, and with for different kind of equations, integrals, summations, we can highlight part of equations, we can use arrows, we can change the color of the part of the text, we can separate text into columns. And okay, thank you. This is all about the video. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon. Then if you click on the bell icon, you will get the notification for the the next video like this one. And also, just if you like the video, just give thumbs up and support us. Bye bye.